Managers are panicking right now. They're scared about their early draft picks. They are underperforming, and if you strike right now, you can get some good deals. I'm live every day on TikTok from 11 to 2, and the amount of panic I'm hearing from fantasy managers is unreal. It's like I'm just dipping my head in the river of lost souls like Hercules, and souls are flying by screaming, should I panic on RJ Harvey? Can I drop him? Should I start Trey Tucker over Drake London? Am I scared of Kyron Williams? Will my wife ever love me again? And the answer to all of those is no, 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 and surprisingly, yes. If you make moves right now, you can get a great deal. And I've got 3 of the most asked about players that I would be looking to target. The first one is one that we talked about, Drake London. And I understand the worry. Through 3 weeks, he's looked a little bit slow. If we kind of regroup through those weeks though, week 1, at the end of the game, they target him in the end zone for a touchdown and he injures his shoulder and ends up not catching the ball. In week 2, he plays the Vikings. Maybe he's only out there running decoy and has a bad game. In week 3, the Falcons lost 30-0. He still had a lot of targets. He's still the key part of this offense and he's still running a lot of routes. Looking forward, the Falcons have a bye in week 5. If there is something wrong with his shoulder that has been slowing him, he'll have week 4 and then a bye in week 5, and then I expect him back healthy. So if you can buy him now, maybe it doesn't hit in week 4 and then you eat the bye in week 5, but then from week 6 to the end of the season, you've just got prime Drake London. So here are some real deals that have happened for Drake London that I would be happy to make. Someone traded Jamison Williams and Zay Flowers and they got Drake London. I would take Drake. Someone traded just Chuba Hubbard and got Drake London. I would take Drake London. Someone traded Alvin Kamara and Zach Ertz and got Drake London. People are panicking. These are real trades that happened in 12-team leagues. So send some out, see if you can get this guy. Before the second player, this is a new channel. Please consider subscribing or asking any questions that you have in the comments. I don't have that much going on. I can respond to any comments for any types of questions on these videos. The next player that we'll talk about is Ladd McConkey. Now I agree, Ladd McConkey is not worth what we paid. He was going at the 2-3 turn in a 12-team draft, and right now I would not pay that price, and I don't think he'll hit that value, but his value isn't going to 0. People panic and think he's declining. I got to get out before he hits the floor, and I think a realistic floor for Ladd McConkey is a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 20 to wide receiver 24 each week. The amount of targets Ladd McConkey is getting in this offense hasn't really changed year over year, and this offense is throwing much more than they did last year. Now, if you trade for Ladd, there's a good chance you'll have a hard time trading him away. Players get this idea in their head that if someone isn't worth what they were drafted at, that they could never buy them. If you trade for Ladd and then you try to trade him, people almost always come back and say, Ladd McConkey stinks, he's a bust. It's kind of like people just don't understand that things can become cheaper. Like right now in the fall, swimsuits and shorts are on clearance. Some players just aren't worth what we paid originally, but you can buy them at the clearance price and then have them at that new value. And I think that works with Ladd because right now, here are some of the real trades that I'm seeing for him. David Montgomery for Ladd McConkey. I'll take a wide receiver 2 there. Javonte Williams or Ladd McConkey. Same idea. Chuba Hubbard for Ladd McConkey. Again, I'm okay taking Ladd there. How about this one? Tony Pollard and Juwan Jennings for Ladd McConkey. Even if Ladd McConkey isn't what he was last year, and he finished around wide receiver 12, it's better than Tony Pollard and Juwan Jennings. And you can get that right now. Those were all real trades that happened. Now for player number 3, this one's gonna be a fast one. It's Jamar Chase. Now I know Jamar Chase will likely produce less than we thought, just like we were saying with Ladd, but if you look at other wide receivers that are elite talents and had bad quarterbacks, they can be okay. Last year, Brian Thomas Jr. with a quarterback of Mac Jones for a good chunk of the year was a top 10 wide receiver. Last year, Malik Neighbors with Tommy DeVito as his quarterback for a good chunk of the year was a top 8 wide receiver. These elite talents can perform with bad quarterbacks. And if you buy Jamar Chase now, right after he just played the Vikings, who can shut down a bad offense, who can confuse a bad quarterback, not every defense is like that. Jamar Chase will still be okay. On top of just him being okay, think about the other wide receivers that we drafted around Jamar Chase. What's their value look like? Justin Jefferson with Carson Wentz, that's a value dip. CeeDee Lamb, high ankle sprain, not playing, that's a value dip. Other players are in that range. Drake London, who we talked about, Nico Collins, BTJ, a lot of wide receivers have taken a value dip, but Jamar Chase's value dip is probably one of the smallest. Maybe only Justin Jefferson's is smaller. Now, Puka Nacua has accrued more value, and Amon-Ra might have moved up, But if we're looking at top 5 wide receivers rest of season, it's still Jamar Chase in that group. Here are some real trades that have happened for Jamar Chase. Emeka Ibuka and Trey Benson. I would rather have Jamar. Jonathan Taylor for Jamar Chase and Alvin Kamara. I'll take the package on that side. Usually I want the number 1 player, but if it's Jamar Chase and Alvin Kamara, I'll take the 2 and make do. Another trade that has happened, Drake London straight up for Jamar Chase. They're both value decreased, and I would much rather have Jamar. One of the final things I'll leave you with is this. A newer fantasy football player asked me while I was live, hey, is this normal? What we're seeing with first round picks, second round picks underperforming this much? Yes, this happens every year. Every year around week 3, week 4, I am making some sort of trade like this, and I almost never regret it. The one time that I did regret it was last year I traded for Travis Etienne, and that didn't quite work out. But every other year, these are the plays that are setting me up to win my leagues. Getting Jamar Chase cheap, getting Ladd McConkey at a decreased price, or getting Drake London for cheap. That is where you can win your league. If this video was helpful, please consider liking and subscribing, or check out another video that's shared on screen right now. Thank you very much.